Okay, many people have seen this, but I'm going to do another one just to prove it. And I also found another website that has a story that corroborates this, that helps to prove it, I should say. But this is one of my ancestors, and I'm going to show you how he proves that the original Indian was a black man and not a Siberian or a white person or whatever else, okay? So his name is William Bill Love. His slave or owner was William Love. They put Wilson, but it's William Love. And just to give even more proof to this story before I tell you, in 2018, they talk about the story from long ago. You see the name of people: French Nancy, Mahota Love, Homahota Love, and Ali Kahio Hash. They're saying these are the current, some of the current descendants of those people. They look like this. He would be the current descendant with a little bit of Metal Nation left. Just a little bit of us got in there. Now, Imahota is Homahota. Now, her husband was Samuel Christian, and he is an Irish guy, an Irish YT guy. And you can tell his dad came from Ireland. His dad fought in a revolutionary, thing that they have, and he was unalived in the revolutionary thing that they have. And next thing you know, he took off running and came to the Chickasaw territory and ended up marrying this person. Now, they had children, but before you get to that, I want to show you here where it talks about it. This is under a genealogic tree that was already built for Mr. Thomas Love. And you'll see he had two spouses, Imahota Love and Sally Colbert. Okay, we'll go through with Imahota Love. It says, the Love family was possibly the largest mixed blood family in the Chickasaw Nation and second only to the Colbert family in service to the Chickasaw Nation. Thomas Love was a refugee Tory from Virginia who settled among the Chickasaw in 1782 after his father, William Love, English Bill, was unalived. Thomas said that he took off through the briar patch and made his way in 1803. He's still living in 1818. Apparently, he died in 1830. Thomas had two wives. His first wife was Sally Colbert, a half-breed Chickasaw, daughter of James Logan Colbert. His second wife was a full-blood Chickasaw woman, not necessarily, but her name was Imahota. Following the Chickasaw tradition of the YT, following the Chickasaw tradition, of the husband becoming a member of the wife's family, he became a member of the House of Inkunomar. Thomas fathered 8 sons and 5 daughters, descendants, whatever. Then it says Imahota was born in 1791. She sold land in Marshall County, Mississippi on April 18th or whatever. She was listed on the 1840 Lafayette County Census. She removed to the Indian Territory, Oklahoma, in November. The census lists her as a half YT. Okay, the census lists her as half YT. Had a household consisting of 18 males, whatever. Okay, the census lists her as half YT. So back to my tree. She's half YT. He's YT. Their son still comes out looking like a black person because they made him a freedman. Okay, one of their sons. So you come back over here. Well, yeah, one of their sons. Okay, you come back over here and you got to look at her parents, French Nancy and Ali Kahio Hash. Again, they talked about these people in the paper in 2018. French Nancy, Mahota, Ali Kahio Hash. Let's look at those two. This is what I found in Mississippi, okay? And then you go down here, and French Nancy has her own section in the paper right here, French Nancy. And without getting into the whole thing, it basically talks about how French Nancy came over here with 400 soldiers during a particular conflict. I'm trying to say another word. During a conflict, so the Mississippi sent 400 the Mississippi general sent 400 troops up there to unalive the Chickasaws, but the Chickasaws beat unalive 380 of them in the conflict and made the other 20 take off running. When they took off running, they left a little French girl behind who was 5 years old, and they took her into the nation, and when she became of age, Ali Kohio, the one that took her in, says his name right here, Haye Kohio, the one that took her in, which he was the full blood Chickasaw. The little girl was picked up by a warrior named Hayakuyo from the camp and was routed to the stream, whatever. So Hayakuyo took her back to whatever, but he was the full-blooded Chickasaw warrior, okay? So keep that in mind. The full-blooded Chickasaw warrior saved a YT French little girl, married her later, and next thing you know, whoops, kind of spoiled it. Next thing you know, they had a child. That's why she's listed as half YT on the census. Why? Because one of these two people have to be YT. And the YT person is likely the French person who came over here with the French. If I'm wrong, then I guess this person would be YT, but that doesn't make sense. Why would there be a full YT Indian at this time in the late 1700s? That's not what the case is. It was a full black Indian got with a YT French woman later and had a mulatto mixed Indian, half breed. And then when she got with Mr. Christian Love, who was also a YT, that's two YTs mixing in, they had a slew of children, like I told you. Now, he had children with somebody else too, but they had children also. And some of their children became normal Chickasaws or normal non-freedmen, whereas Mr. Samuel became a freedman. And this is what Imahota looks like. She was, like they said, they were a prominent family, had a lot of money, so they was able to pay for photography even in the early 1800s. And we have a photo of her. She was a mulatto mixed Indian, but she looks nowhere near that much mixed. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they could tell, but I can't tell. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But the stories are out there, and her parents would have been black or white, and that means that the non-French person was likely the black person, the Indian. And under Thomas Love, you got Imahota Love right here. You have their children. You have Samuel Love that's on my tree. You also have Lucinda Love. Lucinda Love, which is on Mrs. Olivares' tree, not mine. If you come down here, you'll see Imahota, Thomas Love, Lucinda Love, and she married a YT person named Samuel Colbert, or one of the Colberts that were mixed in with also, now that I think about it, wow, actually that would have been her cousin, because that's kind of, I don't know, we're going to have to look into that, because Thomas Love, he was with Sally Colbert, and they had children. Now, I'm glad to see that she didn't get with one of her brothers, half brothers. So it must have been one of her siblings' children to keep that in the family, which that's too close to be doing that. So that's what they chose to do. Whereas the person in my family, Mr. Samuel William Love, he decided to get with a Chickasaw woman who ain't got no ties to him in a family whatsoever. Now, Samuel William Love had babies with children, with two different people. And you can see Samuel Jr., Love Jr., that's the one he had a baby with another Chickasaw woman, which is on my tree. I just found out that's her real name. They call her Mary later, but then you have, and she's black. But then you have the other person who he had children with, which I'll be looking into as well. But nonetheless, it goes to show that if he's a freedman by lookership and his dad's YT, his mom's got to be black. And if she's black, which she's technically mixed, then one of these two people would have to be black. And if she's French, then Mr. Ali Kohio Hash, the person in the newspaper in 2018, the person who saved the French girl back here, the full-blooded warrior from the Chickasaw Nation, is black. Playing, they be playing.